Oops, I think she hit play. Take 27 on Southeast Asia and Pacific Islands. Hi, my name is James Howard, aka The Duck, and I'm here to bring you my personal presentation on how to make an Asian egg roll. In this particular case, this is Filipino lumpia. I'm making two different variations. I'm making chicken, which most you can make in vegetable, you can make it pork, you can make it beef, you can make it chicken. There's a lot of different variations. Today I'm doing two variations on chicken, one being a Madras curry, which is well known throughout the Southeast Asians, mainly because of the influence from the Polynesians, the Chinese and so forth that brought it influenced the country. So what I'm going to be doing is showing you how to make lumpia and all the elements that are pre-done for you to save a lot of time, because this takes 2 hours in just preparation. What I did was went ahead and pretty much already cut the chicken. And I cube it up. A lot of places do shredding and some places do stringy. I don't like that because you lose the flavor of the chicken in the actual egg roll itself, in our case lumpia. Another thing that's pretty much standard throughout a lot of egg rolls is you'll find that there's a lot of grated carrots. I do recommend buying it pre-grated because it takes a lot of your preparation time and just grating it down. Another thing that's standard in most egg rolls is your cabbage, which is already pretty much cut down and broken down for you. One of the things I did was I also added standard. I went organic, which is something I normally don't do because I think you lose a lot of the flavoring. But again, that's my personal opinion. You have organic alfalfa sprouts and you have organic bean sprouts, which is pretty much common in a lot of them, and they'll alter between the two of which one they add, depending on the individual who makes it. Another thing that I add to my lumpia is I add bamboo shoots, which to me gives you good continuity in the flavor itself, and it just blends real well. And then what I've done is I went ahead and show you a bamboo shoot. This is from actual Laos, which is another part of Southeast Asia, and part of the area itself. The two things that I add, and I add a lot of because a lot of the Asian nations, including Southeast Asia, they strongly believe these two elements are a natural cure of many things. And one of the things I add is ginger root, which is freshly grated. And then to save me a lot of time, I normally go fresh, but in this case I went to a minced garlic. Which is another good thing to add. And I add those mainly for flavor and health. Like I mentioned earlier, I talked about the Madras curry. So I'm doing a curry base, which is really huge in a lot of the Asian nations because of the Chinese, Polynesian, and Malaysian influence. And they in Indian culture as well that brought over curries, and this is a Madras curry. The other lumpia I'm making is an oyster based lumpia, and basically this is an oyster sauce that gives you that little bit of oriental flavor when you actually bite into the, so it's just two different variations on the same thing. Another thing, that there's two things that are pretty much standard when people eat egg rolls and lumpia, and that's a dipping sauce. And this particular dipping sauce is a sweet and sour chili sauce, which you can pretty much get in any local grocery store. I like to make it from scratch because then I can add pineapple flavoring, different things, but this is pretty much standard. And I went for simplicity, so I bought a jar for dipping. Another alternative for those that don't like the little kick because of the chilies is it's kind of an Asian ketchup, if you will. This is called banana sauce. It's kind of like a ketchup, but a little bit of a banana twist, and you'll have to try it to really enjoy it. One of the things that brings this all together is a wrap. It's kind of like Hispanics or South America, which is a tortilla wrap. In this particular case, this is a rice flour wrap called rice paper, and therefore it gives you a different type of wrap. One of the things that brings this all together is when you wrap it up, you create it like an enchilada, a burrito, many things, but you bring it together with a wrap. With your rice base. And one of the, all right, since I already showed you, this is more my personal enjoyment. This is a pork bun. I know it's from China, but a lot of Asian countries now use it. And since the land was, or the whole area like Vietnam, Cambodia, and things that were Chinese influenced, that's kind of why I added that. But that's for my personal enjoyment. And since you're not going to be there, sorry. Oh, I guess my pork bun can wait. Sorry about that. Okay, take two, we're back. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is even though we've shown you the process of how to put things together, how to put all the ingredients, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an extra process. These are a type of wraps you're going to use if you ever decide to make lumpias. These are the rounds, and they're not like tortillas. So you're not just going to pull a bag out, rip one off, and go to town. So there is a process that has to be done. You're going to get it. They come in a box of 30, sometimes 20, just depends on the box you're looking for. And then you have to go through the entire process of peeling them all apart, watching careful on the edge, and then slowly, the key, I can tell you one word of advice, make sure they're thawed, because if they're not thawed, they tear real easily, and you'll get frustrated really fast. So when they say egg rolls are pretty expensive, this is part of the problem why. And then what you'll see here, that is one sheet. I can even see you through here. Okay, perfect. But don't worry, I have good news. This is my preferred brand and my preferred method, basically, of one of the ones I like to use. I prefer the square ones. It's a company called Menlo, and you can get them at Walmart, Target, no, I don't know about Target, Walmart, Winco, Asian stores, and things like that. The difference with these ones, they are a little bit thicker. Same process applies. You want to basically pull them all apart. And when you got 30 of these to do, they're only going to make 30. Sometimes you got a double wrap, so you're only making 30 of these things. And the downfall, if you're not careful and they're not thawed, they tear real easy. But you'll see the difference here in a second of why I prefer this brand. There's a good tear, basically, and then you have the one there. So what I do want to do is I'm going to rip one more, mainly just so I can wrap one for you. Kind of show you what's going on as far as the wrap. And the wrapping's no different than a burrito, not similar to an enchilada because we only do is roll those. And then we have our two sheets. So now what we're going to do is go ahead, basically, now that we've drummed up, we already have our meats pretty much done. What I do want to do is show you kind of an end product, kind of what they look like. So let me put this over here. There we go. And basically that's what it looks like. Just a big bowl of cabbage in the most part. Real simple, real easy. That's the insides of your lumpias or your egg rolls. All we're going to do from here, we're going to take basically one. You're going to put side an ingredient here. Then what you're going to do is just basically simply roll it. You roll it one good time. You're going to take here. You're going to take here. And then you're going to roll it. You'll see it even tears. It happens. I didn't get a bowl of water, but I'm going to use some of the inside juices. And then basically that's what's going to seal it for you. If you don't seal it, they're just going to fall apart. And just like that. So what I'm going to do is apply my bowl of water. And you just tap the edges, get a little bit. Egg usually works the best, but I totally forgot about that part in this part. And in this case, it's not holding together at all anyway. Okay, and then what I'm going to do because of the tear is I'm going to go ahead and just do another one. Double wrap it. Can't go wrong. It'll hold better in the end. And when you get it into the pot of boiling grease, it's not going to fall apart. There we go. Then you get it, and then, there we go. Ta-da, and it holds together better. See you in a minute. Welcome back. We're at the final stage, basically of what we're looking at. One of the things we want to do is I'm using a vegetable oil to fry my egg rolls. And then how we're going to do it is, it's real simple. After we finished wrapping all 50, you're going to wrap it, and then you're going to gently put them in. Be careful doing it for the splash. If you need to, one of the things I do recommend, and they're going to fall apart. There's nothing you can do about them. It's just the way it is. It's the material of the rice. Because it's a rice paper. And just use a tongue to gently set them in. And then all you're going to do is cook them till they're a golden brown. And again, it's going to be your desire. You won't be able to really flip them, which I'll show you. If you flip it to try to get it to the other side cooked, it'll just roll back over mainly because of how it sits. And if you get it to temperature, it's going to cook real fast, real simple and easy. If you don't bring it to temperature, you're more than likely you're going to lose your first batch because it will fall apart. It'll take forever to cook the first batch. So it's one of the things I do recommend And once you get it to bring it to temperature, they cook real fast, real quick, and real easy, as you can see. Okay. That one's a nice golden brown. We can go ahead and pull that one, pull it to the side, let it drain a little bit. Because it is a deep fry. And then all you're going to do basically is gently put it on as it dries. Again, let it drain. As you can see, they cook real fast. But again, you definitely want to bring it to room temperature, or bring the heat up ahead of time. Real simple, real easy. And just to give you a quick view of what they look like, you'll have some that basically try to pull apart, things of that nature. There's nothing you can really do about it. But in the end result, you'll still get an end product of what's called lumpia. Wish you all were here.
Have a nice semester, y'all.